the freedom we enjoy today. For us, as the members of the legal fraternity, Independence Day carries a special meaning, the Constitution of India. Yes, the Constitution of India is the soul of our nation, and the courts are its guardians. Every day, through our profession, we contribute in our own way to preserving justice, equality, liberty, and rule of law. The Supreme Court Bar Association has always stood as a symbol of these constitutional values. As we celebrate the 80th Independence Day, let us renew our pledge to serve not only our clients but our nation, ensuring that justice reaches every citizen. With this, now I request Rahul Kaushik, Vice President SCBA, to kindly give welcome address on this occasion.
Honorable Mr. Justice Surekant, Chief Justice of India, Honorable Judges of Supreme Court, Shri R. Venkatramani, Learning Attorney General for India, Mr. Tushar Mehta, Learning Solicitor General of India, other law officers, Mr. Vikas Singh, our President, Sajja Baghel, Secretary SCBA, Mr. Devraj, President SCORA, Mr. Nikhil Jain, Vice President SCORA, Mr. Gandra Pavaja, Honorary Secretary SCORA, learned senior advocates, my fellow colleagues at the bar, a very good morning to you all and a very happy Independence Day. On behalf of the whole Executive Committee, I welcome you all. Today we have gathered here on these lawns to celebrate the 80th Independence Day of our nation. It is a matter of pride for the legal fraternity that the freedom struggle of this country was to a remarkable extent led by lawyers. Mahatma Gandhi was a barrister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was a barrister, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was a barrister, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, our first president also, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who piloted our constitution through the drafting committee, was called to the bar at Gray's Inn. Deshbandhu Chitranjan Das, Sri Tej Bahadur Sapru, Vallabhbhai Desai, Asaf Ali, the roll is long. They gave up perishing practices for prison cells and they showed that a lawyer's highest brief is the one he holds for the country. But we in this profession of all people ought to remember that our freedom was neither accidental nor inevitable. It was earned with sacrifice, with imprisonment, and very often with arguments made in courtrooms not very different from the ones in which we appear every day. Perhaps the most eloquent of that moment of the restoration came in the winter of 1945 at the trials of the officers of Indian National Army led at Red Fort. A defense team led by Vallabhbhai Desai, including Sri Tej Bahadur Sapru, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Sri Asaf Ali and Dr. K.N. Karju appeared for the accused. They knew what the verdict was likely to be. They appeared nonetheless. That is the lesson which the bar of this country inherited, that an advocate does not choose his cause by the certainty of success. When freedom finally came, this country did something extraordinary. It entrusted its future to a written constitution adopted on 26 November 1949 and brought into force on 26 January 1950, and to force which would hold everyone, including the state, accountable to it. This code itself came into existence on 28 January 1950. In a nation of extraordinary diversity, the Constitution became the one document to which every citizen of every faith and every religion could equally lay claim. Every time a habeas corpus petition is moved, every time an under trial is released on bail after years of forgotten custody, every time a citizen who has been denied his pension or his land or his livelihood is finally heard by a court, the promise of 1947 is renewed in a small but real way. That assurance places an obligation upon us. Article 39A of the Constitution requires the state to ensure that the opportunities for securing justice are not denied to any citizen by reason of economic or other disabilities. And this court has held a long line of decisions, beginning with Husaindra Khatun, as free legal aid to a person who cannot afford counsel is an essential ingredient of the fair procedure guaranteed by Article 21 of the Constitution. On this Independence Day, therefore, I would urge every member of this bar, particularly our young colleagues, to take up legal aid matters as a matter of privilege and not of obligation. We must also remember on this day those who guard our freedom at its outer edges, the soldiers of our armed forces and the personnel of our security forces, many of whom will spend this Independence Day far away from their families, in conditions we would find difficult to imagine. We owe them a debt which no argument in any court can discharge. This morning is also a happy occasion for the association in another aspect. We shall be releasing the Vidhi Vichar, the Journal of Supreme Court Bar Association, and the coffee table book of the National Conference in Bangalore. A bar association is not only a body which protects the interests of its members. It is also custodian of the intellectual life of the profession. And these publications are a modest contribution to this tradition. I would like to congratulate the entire editorial committee, especially Senior Advocate Ms. Aparna Bhatt, for her tireless efforts, dedication, and valuable contribution for Vidhi Vichars SCBA Journal. Independence is not an event which occurred in 1947 and then concluded. It is a discipline which every generation must practice afresh, in the honesty with which we conduct our cases, in the courage which we take up the causes of the powerless, and in the respect we extend to this institution and to each other. The bench and bar are two wheels of the same chariot, and the road we travel is the one which the Constitution has laid for us. We know there is an issue long going of sequencing in court. We have been repeatedly making requests to the Honorable CJI to do away with the sequence in courts, else creates lot of inconvenience to members, and there was no systematic sequencing of matters being followed by different benches in Supreme Court before 2022. The issue was taken up in the full court also, and the Honorable CJI have now constituted a committee of Honorable Mr. Justice Vikram Nath, Honorable Mr. Justice P.S. Narasimha, and Honorable Ms. Justice V. Mona regarding the issue of sequencing in court, and we are very hopeful that the solution to do away with sequence in court would be there soon. We also wish to inform that the Honorable CJI has taken an initiative to shift Indian Law Institute on Bhagwan Das Road to some other place, and ultimately will succeed. The place can be utilized for chambers for the members, and the whole place on Bhagwan Das Road can be for the Supreme Court complex. We are also very hopeful that very soon in the 1.92 acres land allotted to Supreme Court near ITO would start soon, as there was some litigation pending that's now over, and more than 500 chambers can be built there for members. With these words, I once again welcome everyone and extend on behalf of members of the bar my heartiest greetings to all of you and your families on this 80th Independence Day. Let us stress today that this bar will remain what it has always been, a fearless voice for the rule of law and a faithful servant to the Constitution of India. अंत में यही कहना चाहूँगा, आज़ादी केवल एक अधिकार नहीं, एक उत्तरदायित्व भी है। न्याय केवल एक व्यवस्था नहीं, राष्ट्र का विश्वास भी है। और जब तक न्याय की आवाज निर्भय है, जब तक लोकतंत्र की नींव अड़िग है। जय हिंद, धन्यवाद।